It's me again, Lucky Ladybug, and I'm going to do a short video to show you something about different types of G.I. Joe bodies. And maybe this is already common knowledge among fans, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. The only information I was able to find online is there's a blog where someone talked about the Hasbro Kenner Star Wars figures from the late 90s and said that Hasbro used the same body model for them to do the Joes, and that's not entirely accurate. It kind of is, but kind of isn't the whole story. So, also, I found out why my Gansley feels loose, and that ties into this video too. So, first, I brought Lando down so you can see exactly the differences in size between Joes and Star Wars figures. These particular Joes are called the Classic Collection. All the ones I got from my little Big Five project are Classic Collection G.I. Joes. They are a little bit shorter than the Star Wars figures, and hopefully it's a little more obvious here that the Star Wars figures have bigger heads. And my brother told me that there are some G.I. Joes that do use the Star Wars bodies, and they're called the Hall of Fame collection. Also, I'm not sure I can show this, but both the Hall of Fame G.I. Joes and the Star Wars figures, the early Star Wars figures, they have rubber legs instead of plastic legs. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to get Mando's pants up. Okay, maybe. So the knees do not bend, of course, because they're rubber. And wow, actually that's kind of a squeezable rubber a little bit. Wasn't expecting that. Thought it would be a little bit of a harder rubber, like on my Barbies and my Disney dolls. So that's interesting. So, the Star Wars figures and the Hall of Fame Joes, they're exactly like 12 inches, what you would call 12 inches. But my Classic Collection Joes, here we go, you can see, I think, size difference more, maybe. They're just a little bit smaller. They're not quite 12 inches. They're close, 11 and maybe quarter, or 11 and a half maybe. And they're not quite as broad, of course, because slightly different scale, so the heads and bodies don't really match. So I'm very glad that I didn't use Luke or Lando to help me figure out how to make clothes for the Joes before they arrived, because it would have been a little bit too big. So, and then within the Classic Collection, I was thinking that they all had the same body type. Let me demonstrate here on Nesbit. Everybody, all the Joes look super ripped. And but what I didn't take enough notice of is that Gansley, my Ernie Pyle doll, he's a little bit different. My Nesbit is the Wheeler-Field pilot doll. And he turns from side to side. I can't really show it too well. At the waist, you can see there's the articulation point right there above the underwear. So 4 of my Joes are like that. They move from side to side. Now, what threw me, why Gansley is loose, it's apparently not something to worry about. It's actually simply, he was made a little differently. And I don't know why I didn't inspect him a little closer to see this at the time. He does ab crunches. Look at that. So he actually has a different body here. Still ripped, but it is different. And let's see. He doesn't really have the side-to-side movement either. So his is up and down to do crunches. And I'm supposing they did this with the Ernie Pyle doll, so you could have him shovel and stuff, since he would actually dig trenches with the men. So, that is an interesting mystery solved there, in case anybody didn't know that. So, even within the classic collection, they used some different body types. And then, of course, the hands are different, as I demonstrated in earlier videos. This is the Russian infantry soldier repainted to be Crump of the Big Five. You can see how small that hand looks compared to the Army Ranger here. And also Ernie Pyle's and the Wheeler-Field pilot's hands actually can have finger movement. So those are all different hand types, and my Lecter is the Challenge at Hawk River one, and his hands are also different. They're more like Johnson's in size maybe, but they're facing front instead of the side. I don't think they really turn. They go up and down though. So there are differences within the line. Just interesting little things I've noticed, and then yeah, they're not quite as big as the Star Wars figures. Star Wars figures really are hefty, which is cool. And by the way, a little bit later, the Star Wars figures started being made with plastic legs, thankfully, and they bend too. So I have a Luke and an Obi-Wan, and their knees bend. So, yay for progress. But, yeah, as far as I know, the Hall of Fame Joes do have the rubber legs like the early Star Wars figures. So no bendable knees. But, could be wrong, like if they made some Hall of Fame figures in a later line, maybe they decided to do it with more articulation like the classic collection. But, so that's some interesting news for everybody. If anybody else is wanting to customize. Also, a quick reminder, a lot of these Joe's hands, since they're bigger, they probably aren't going to fit in like standard 12-inch or 11.5-inch sleeves. Probably would have to like customize it, unless you're actually buying clothes that you know came from the classic collection Joes. Otherwise you should probably try to make them yourself, or hire somebody that knows how to do it, so that they will for sure fit over these big hands. I'm still puzzling over how to make a good shirt for Johnson, but hopefully I'll be able to figure that out, since I did get Lecter's hands through these sleeves, so they were apparently made better than the top I was trying for Johnson. So, that is the latest, and no new clothes to show off, but so happy again to have everybody. Oh, one thing I want to show off, I pulled Gansley's pants out of his boots, and these legs were wide enough I could put them over the boots, so now they look like shoes. I could not do that with Johnson's. For some reason his pants are a little bit tighter, so could not get them to go over the tops of his boots. So, but the Ernie Pyle doll here, you can do that with his if you want to. And that looks more canon accurate for the character he's portraying, Mr. Gansley. So I'll be back soon probably with another update, either with clothes or maybe a review of something else. It is something I ordered that I'm really excited to show you guys, but I don't have it yet, and I don't know when I'm getting it because it was a pre-order. It's supposed to come at the end of the month, but I think the date changed, so it's so hard to wait for that. Really excited about it. And I won't say what it is. Just something to keep you guessing for now. But it's something that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. Especially if you love Disney. Okay, so that's our video for today. And thanks for watching.